One of the most competitive events in track and field right now is the men's 1500 meters. With Jakob Ingebrigtsen being sidelined for much of this outdoor athletics campaign, the doors have been left wide open as to who is the real favorite moving into the Tokyo World Championships. Some say it's the defending world champion from Scotland, Josh Kerr. Others favor the previous Olympic champion, Cole Hawker from the United States, while others have laid claim for Yared Nuguse, Azzedine Hobbs, or the newcomer Fanuel Koech from Kenya. There have been many great athletes that have risen to close to the top of the world rankings in this key middle distance event. And with the World Track and Field Championships now only 3 weeks away, the hype and excitement around this one event are only building with each day, and given that no clear performance has really made one athlete the standout favorite, it is really anyone's guess as to who actually has the best chance at taking the gold. Well, that was until today, because in this year's Diamond League meeting in Brussels, Belgium, we witnessed one athlete absolutely destroy this field with one of the most lethal kicks that I have ever witnessed. And the amazing thing about this one runner is that he is still only 20 years old. In today's Brussels Diamond League meeting, we had a huge lineup of runners ready to hit the tape first. We had the 2022 world champion, Jake Whiteman. There was Yared Nuguse present, who actually broke the world indoor record in the mile this season. And there were many other great names, such as Koech, Abel Kipsang, and Hobbs Kessler. And while this race seemed super competitive as the athletes approached the final 200 meters, this is the moment that the tides turned. Because seemingly out of nowhere, like a rocket taking off, one athlete from the Netherlands accelerated faster than anything that I have seen in 2025. Here are the standings in the field with 200 meters left to run in this race. This was a close one. You had Yared Nuguse battling with Koech, Laros, Nader, and Renault Chariot, with many other athletes very close and still in contention. But then, these final 200 meters brought us a beastly finish, of bolt-like proportions, honestly. Because over this final 200, Niels Laros, the 20-year-old, dropped a final 200 in 25.6 seconds. And for his final 100, he hit a time of 12.5. Getting under 26 is unbelievably difficult. I mean, you need to have crazy sprinting abilities to do this at the end of a 15, but Laros seemed to accelerate away from everyone else with ease. With a finishing time of 3:30.58 and a final 400 of 53.4, Laros just made a pretty bold statement that he might be one of the favorites, if not the outright favorite, to take the gold in Tokyo. And the fact that he still ran a 3:30 while closing like this tells me that he actually might be getting close to world record fitness. Now, heading over to the graphs that we have from this event, we can see that these final 200 meters were honestly a complete crush fest from your boy Laros. This graph here shows the distance to the leader relative to the time that the athletes ran. And just look at what happened over this final stage. As everyone else is drifting further and further away from Laros, he just stayed focused and calm, and literally no one closed on him. This was a completely untouchable final 200, and you can also see this slightly over this final graph here, as Laros here in the red just took off and nobody else in the field could catch him. This middle distance graph honestly looks like silly string, but if you look closely, you can see some common trends. And the amazing thing about Laros here is that his times for each 100-meter segment only got faster and faster over the final lap, meaning that he really was accelerating like Hicham El Guerrouj back in the 2004 Olympic Games. Now, currently Laros is building into one of the most complete middle distance and distance runners of all time. Recently, he threw down one of the most interesting doubles in running history that I can even remember, because in this year's European Under-23 Athletics Championships, he actually won the 5,000 meters on July 19th in 13:44, and then just one day later, he won the 800 in 1:44.36. If you're a decent 5,000 runner and are winning a huge event like this, it will almost be impossible to double down in the 800. These are just completely different events that require completely different skill sets. And yet, Laros won them both in just 2 days. Currently, Laros' personal bests are building him into one of the best athletes in the world. He's got a 7:29 3000. He actually has a 3:45 mile, which he achieved this year at the Prefontaine Classic. He has broken 3:30 in the 1500, which he did in last year's Olympic Games. And he's also dipped under 450 for the 2000 meters. And now I would love to hear from all of you. What do you think about this crazy 1500? What do you think about this 20-year-old athlete who is only getting faster and faster? And also leave your predictions for this year's 1500 in the World Champs, because it is going to be a showdown. Thanks for watching, everyone, and as always, until next time.